Welcome to ACTV Newsmakers. DuPage County has recently announced some addition to its 211 information referral service. We're going to find out about the 211 system, its operations here in DuPage County, and the new service that has become available. Joining us are Greg Schwarzy, member of the DuPage County Board and chair of the Human Services Committee, and Jennifer Comas, intake and referral coordinator with DuPage County. So to Greg and Jennifer, welcome very much. Thank you very much for being here. Welcome once again. Greg, let's start off with you. Tell us a little bit about what is the 211 service, and how long has it been operating here in DuPage County?
So in a nutshell, 211 is a easy to remember 3-digit phone number that our residents can dial when they're searching for health and human services that they may need. So the county, we're very blessed to live in DuPage County. It offers so many social service programs, either directly or by referral to the residents. Things like mental health and substance use help, all the senior citizen issues that are out there. It helps with job education, food insecurity, housing, rental assistance, things like that. So there's so much out there. Now, previously, to be able to get that help, residents had to dial a 10-digit phone number during business hours, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. In November of 2022, the DuPage County Board used American Rescue Plan Act money, ARPA money, to create and designate 211 as its sort of social services hotline. And so residents now can call 211 any time of day or night. You're going to get a live person answering the phone to help direct that person to the need that they're looking for. We at the county sort of like to say, if you don't know who to call for help, call 211.
Now, 211 sounds like 911. And now there's 988, and these are the 988 service is relatively new, and of course 211 is, as you just explained, 911's been around for a long time. So can you kind of help us out here? What's the difference between those? Sure. Because 988 does perform a similar type of service, but not exactly the type of thing that 211 would be able to handle, correct?
Correct, and as a longtime, now retired firefighter paramedic, I'm glad you asked that question. So, because there are those multiple 3-digit phone numbers that you can call. So what 988 is, it's a nationwide service in which anybody experiencing a mental health crisis or an emotional crisis or suicidal ideations, it's a phone number that they can call, and they are going to get a live crisis counselor answering the phone 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. So it's for those immediate acute crisis that somebody experiencing a mental health issue has the opportunity to call and get help immediately from a trained crisis counselor.
Okay. And then, of course, 911 being the response, or the phone number rather, for your fire, police, EMS, and now we have the 211 service. So let's talk a little bit about this now with Jennifer. And Jennifer, your title being at DuPage County Intake and Referral Coordinator. Greg just mentioned that the service has been around for about 1.5 years, so got a little bit of some experience, some time in on the service. But generally speaking, how would you say here in DuPage County with that 211 service, Jennifer, how's the public responded to the 211 service in this community?
Yes, we've had a great public response. We've received more than 7,000 contacts or calls made, and made more than 19,000 referrals to those who've reached out to 211 DuPage.
And as Greg mentioned, the 211 kind of handles a whole variety of things, lots of things, if you don't know who to call 211. So typically, what would you say would have been some of the areas that you've been able to study and get reports on in terms of what are people calling about when they call for 211?
Yes, as you can imagine, there are a variety of requests, but our data shows that the main referrals are for utility payment assistance at over 4,200 referrals, rental assistance at over 3,200 referrals, and homeless shelters at over 1,300 referrals.
And does the 211 system allow a person to then be connected to an agency, a public agency that might be able to help them out, actually get the service that they are ultimately seeking? Is that kind of the goal of the 211 system then?
Absolutely. Our goal at 211-DuPage is to make connections between those who call or text us or visit our website, connections to the resources that may be able to assist them with their need.
Now, in early April, DuPage County announced that there is going to be yet a new opportunity to contact 211, make life even a little easier. So, Greg, as I mentioned, back in early April, DuPage County Board made this big splashy announcement about 211 service being available in DuPage County and making it yet another step easier for a person to connect with 211. You want to tell us about this new service that's available?
Correct, Don. You know, in this day and age, many people would prefer to text versus actually speaking live to somebody on the phone. And so, whereas the dial 211 has been around since November of 22, 2 days ago, April 1st, we kicked off our texting to 211. So residents in search of social services assistance can now text. And how it works is they'll need to text their zip code to 898211. So on your phone, the letters TXT211 is the same as 898211. So if they text their zip code to 898211, they will get an immediate response as long as it's during business hours. So Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., they'll get an immediate response asking questions and then gathering the information to direct them to the right assistance that they need. If you text after hours or on the weekends, the very next business day, you will get a response. So now you can still call 211 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, you're going to get a live person. But if you choose to text, if you don't do it during business hours, you'll get their response the next business day.
Does texting the zip code, Greg, does that just help make sure that the person is within the DuPage County area and you get the service that they're actually looking for?
That is correct. And if you live outside, you're still going to get a response and you're going to get help. But we want to make sure we're directing people to the right help.
Okay. All right. Jennifer, talk, if you would, please, about the availability of 211 beyond DuPage County. I know DuPage County does it great, I know they do, but there must be other counties that have been using this. And has DuPage kind of taken a look at that too? How would you say we compare DuPage here versus some of the other counties in Illinois, or at least in the Northeast Illinois area?
Yes. So currently there are 211 systems not only across Illinois, but also across the nation. In 2019 alone, 211 centers in the U.S. Made more than 14 million connections to life-changing support and resources. Here in Illinois, all Metro Cook counties have it. So that's going to be us, DuPage, Lake, McHenry, Cook, Kane, DeKalb, Will, Kendall, Grundy, and Kankakee.
That's just about it?
Yes.
That's all of them, right?
And as far as our neighboring states, Wisconsin, Indiana, Iowa, Michigan, Missouri, and Kentucky are 100% covered by 211. Now in Illinois, we currently have 90% coverage.
Sure.
Some of the rural communities are not covered in the central part of Illinois.
Very good, right. And then finally, Greg, this has been a great service as chair of the Human Service Committee. I know you've been able to monitor this, watch it, see it grow, see it expand. As a retired first responder, as you mentioned, you understand the life-saving ability of not just what we know as the 911 service for many years, but now this newer service, the 211, the 988 line being another one. What do you think people really need to know? What's our takeaway from our discussion today about the 211 service in DuPage County?
And thank you for asking. And you know, the biggest thing I would like your listeners to know is that please don't hesitate to ask the county for help. That's why we're here. That's why we do what we do, is to help our residents. And we have a lot to offer. 211 is one way to ask for that help, and it's a free and confidential service. And I failed to mention that you can also go online to 211dupage.gov and also get the referrals that way as well. So, and then finally, I have to thank the Village of Addison, because we have an agreement, the county has an agreement with the Addison Consolidated Dispatch Center, ACDC, who perform the after hours and weekend phone answering with their trained dispatchers to be able to make this program work. So thank you for that, and I hope your listeners will reach out.
I'll pass your thanks along to all the people who are involved, because there's many people involved. Well, we've been talking today about DuPage County's 211 Helpline, the referral service that has been here in DuPage County now for well over a year, and adding the new service of the texting. If you need to reach out to 211, as we've talked about today, simply dial 211 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can visit 211dupage.gov, and now the new texting service where you can text your zip code to 898-211. So however you want to make connection with DuPage County and the many human services, health and human services that are available, great way to do it. Our guests today from DuPage County have been County Board Member Greg Schwarzy and Jennifer Comas from the Intake and Referral Coordinator at DuPage County. Thank you both very much for being with us, and thank you for joining us on ACTV Newsmakers.